Hello, big team. Hello, friends. Welcome to Lizziefaye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth. And as you can see, I'm in the car driving. We have finally left on our little excursion to South Carolina and Tennessee, but we are in Orlando right now. We're not that far from home. It is a little after 3:30 on Friday, July the 4th. And yes, I was planning to leave in the morning of July 3rd. So more than 24 hours later, we are finally on the road. We actually did leave our house at 12:35, but I realized that there was a church picnic that was happening at that moment that we had thought we were going to miss. And it was lunchtime, and they were all there with food. And I thought, well, we may as well just stop in and say hello and eat some lunch before we get on the road. So after we did that, then we gradually made our way through the traffic into Orlando and made a stop at a Walmart because we had been to our local Walmart yesterday and they didn't have everything that we needed. Katie had texted me a couple of things that she needed and we couldn't find them at our Walmart. So we did find everything we needed, and I got myself some C batteries because while I've been packing and getting ready for my trip, I started the next Reacher book on CD. And the CD player in my car doesn't work, but my little portable CD player that I keep in the kitchen has a battery compartment. So I bought some C batteries, and you can't see it, but right here beside my phone is my little portable CD player, and now I can listen to Reacher. In fact, I already pushed play on it, and then I thought, oh, I better start this vlog. So now we are en route, finally. It's not going to be as far as I thought. I was thinking that the trip was about 8.5 hours, but I checked again and it says 7 hours to the town where we're going. Now, it could be farther than that to the actual place where Katie's performing. I didn't look that up specifically, but at least if we can get to the vicinity, then we can find a place to spend the night, or we'll just spend the night en route if we get tired and we don't want to go all the way today. She's not performing until tomorrow night, so if we don't make it today, it's fine. Originally, I had padded in some extra time because I was going to make it as far as Jacksonville yesterday and go to a giant bookstore that's there. And when I saw that we were not going to get on the road yesterday, I called to see if they were open today, and they were not because it's the 4th of July. So we just kind of gave up on trying to leave until today. But I'm just slow to get everything done and get in the car and actually leave. I am pathetically slow, but we are finally on the way, and we're almost to downtown Orlando. We're going to be stopping in Daytona, probably stop at the Buc-ee's there. And if you've never been to Buc-ee's, if you ever pass one, you got to stop. It's epic at Buc-ee's. But it'll be a fun place maybe to stop, maybe get some dinner at that point. Anyway, so I am just going to turn this off and turn on Reacher and listen to that. I am on disc 4 or 5, and I'm listening to the Midnight Line, which I think is book 22 in the Jack Reacher series. Anyway, my apologies for the way I look. This is the real me with no contacts, no makeup or anything. We're just in travel mode and not trying to impress anybody. Although in hindsight, if I had thought about the fact that I was going to film this, I probably would have put on a little bit of makeup, but this is the real me. Anyway, I'm going to turn this off, and I'll check back in with you whenever we have something interesting to tell you about. Hello, I'm back. It is Saturday morning. We reached our destination last night, probably a little after midnight, maybe 12:30 or so. Found the high school where we needed to come to today, and then went back and found a hotel. Actually, I found one that I had stayed in a couple of years ago when we drove through here. So I am a little bit familiar. We're in the Columbia, South Carolina area, and I know that there is a second in Charles that's not far from our hotel. And there's also another used bookstore that I've been to before. In fact, if you go back and see my vlog from 2 years ago, you might see a little bit of footage from from there. So anyway, I'll link that video down below. But we're going to go back there this year. But we are right now at the high school where Katie is staying. They're going to be performing here tonight. I think it's called River Bluff High School in Lexington, South Carolina. And we've already met up with Katie. We went to Starbucks and got her a coffee and brought it to her. And she is now over at the food truck getting a bite to eat because they travel with food trucks and everything that they need for the whole summer they have with them. And so she's grabbing something to eat, and then she's going to be back here. I might talk her into getting on video. I'm not sure. She's already got her hair done and everything. She looks really cute. So they're going to have rehearsal today, and we get to watch the ensemble rehearsal. And I probably can't film it, but we get to watch that. And then we'll be back then tonight for the main show. It's called Crown Beat, and it will hopefully be on YouTube at some point, and you can watch it. So anyway, I am going to film another little clip here before we leave here to go do some book shopping, because the rehearsal that we can watch is not until this afternoon. So we're going to go do some book shopping next. But there is a little free library over here right in front of the gym where they were spending the night, and I got to show it to you because I was like, oh my goodness. I pulled up to this gym and I thought, what are the chances? There's a little free library here. And so I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, as soon as Katie gets back, I'll see if she will let me film a clip of her, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so Katie's back, and she's got her breakfast. So before she eats, I thought maybe she could say hi. So there she is. She has these really cool hair extensions. Her hair is long, but it's not that long. But she's already got them in, so that's part of her costume. Anyway, I'm going to let her eat breakfast without being on camera, and then we'll do some other stuff today. Okay, so the first bookish thing on this trip is this little free library, and it is out in front of this gymnasium where the color guard stayed. They spent the night here in the gym, and so I came here to find Katie and bring her coffee, and lo and behold, there was a little free library. So of course I had to look in it, and I wanted to show you because look what's in here. There's an entire box set of Harry Potter in here. Oh my goodness. And a box set of Twisted Tales. I have at least one of those. I'm not going to take anything, although I do see a few romances, and if I had something to put in here, I might. But anyway, I just wanted to show you. I just thought it was cool. It says on the back here who the stewards are. It says Coach Miller's Crew 2025. Anyway, I just thought I'd show it to you, and now we are going to go do some actual book shopping. Okay, we have arrived at the Book Dispensary. I've been here before. It's been a couple of years. They've got a chalkboard out here. It says, reading can seriously damage your ignorance. It's on a road that parallels an interstate, so it's pretty loud. I can't remember if I filmed inside before or not, but we'll go in and see if it's okay. Hello, so we're back in the car. I didn't film in there. My phone was just about dead, and so I just brought it back out here, and I've been charging it. And now I've checked out. It is a really neat store. If you ever find yourself in Columbia, South Carolina, I hope you will stop in here. It's the Book Dispensary, and I found a treasure. Well, first of all, I found this book that was recommended to me. I still have a few parenting books hanging around the house, and my kids are grown now, so this is the type of parenting book that I need. The Power of Praying for Your Adult Children by Stormy. I think I've always said Omartian. It could be Omartian. I'm not sure. I need to look that up. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited about that. And then, y'all, I didn't find this on the shelf, but I asked if they had any Gladys Tabor. And she didn't know if she did because she'd never heard of Gladys, but she went and found this. I am thrilled. 1,001 short stories by Gladys Tabor. It was $22.99. Well worth it. There's Gladys on the back. I did not bat an eye about that because if I had tried to purchase this on eBay or something, it would have been that much, and probably, and then some, and shipping on top of that. And what a treasure to find. This is, not one of the Still Meadow books. It's not one that you just find, anywhere. Well, you don't really find any Gladys Taber books anywhere. I mean, Gladys Taber books are hard to find in general, but this one I think is especially hard to find. So I am thrilled and over the moon. And she told me about another bookstore that is not too far from here that I didn't know about. So I'm going to check that out, and then we're going to take a little excursion to 2nd and Charles before we go and watch the Crown rehearsal. All right, next we have arrived at Ed's Editions. I'm not exactly sure where we are, but we followed our maps. I think we're somewhere in Columbia, South Carolina. So we are going to go and see what Ed has. It says quality used and collectible books. Please use other door. There's some clearance books. Oh, books on this shelf are free. I like free. Hi, good, how are you? Well, we just came out of Ed's Editions. I enjoyed that experience so much. If you ever find yourself in Columbia, I think we're in Columbia, South Carolina, be sure that you go and visit them. It is owned by Ed and Irene, and they also have a online store, I believe, so you can see some of their inventory and you can purchase it online. They had a couple of Gladys Taber books, and one of them I already had. I think it was the Still Meadow Day book. I already have that one, but he had Spring Harvest. They had it listed for $38, and we negotiated a little bit, and I walked away with it for $30 plus tax, which is very fair. I believe it's a first edition, and it's in beautiful condition. And then I noticed when we were going in that he had a little shelf outside that was labeled free, so I took a look at that on the way out, and I found a couple of cozy mysteries. They don't really deal with romance or cozy mysteries or things like that. They have literature and history and things like that. But I found a couple of books by Lee Hollis. I think I already have this one, Murder at the PTA, and then Murder on the Class Trip. I don't think I have, but they were free, so I just grabbed them. And I was looking for a book by Kathleen Norris in the store, and I couldn't find anything by Kathleen Norris, but then I found one on the free shelf. It's not in great shape. It's called Mother, and I don't know anything about this one, but I figured why not go ahead and grab it. So that was our experience at Ed's Editions. Okay, so we've just come out of 2nd and Charles. I don't even know how many books I bought. I got several, and I am exhausted. So I'm going to show those to you later on in the video. But for now, we've got just about an hour before Katie's rehearsal starts, and we are maybe 10 minutes from our hotel. So we're going to run over there, probably just freshen up a little bit, maybe put our feet up for a few minutes before we head over to the school to watch the rehearsal. So we are at an event called Crown Beat. This is a DCI show featuring Carolina Crown and 7 other marching bands, and I think Crown is the host. So we are in Lexington, South Carolina, and I will show you a little clip of the show in this video, but we're just sitting here waiting to get started. I'm back. It is Sunday, just a little past noon. We went to a church that was recommended to me by my friend Mitzi from Mitzi Reads and Writes. We're not too far from where she lives, but we couldn't connect today, which was disappointing. I was hoping that we'll be able to see her on this trip, but she's got a lot of other things going on. So she recommended that I go to a church here in Lexington where she knows a lot of the people, and it was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. So it was called Heritage Co. If you ever find yourself in Lexington, South Carolina, you should check it out. It was a really nice church. They meet in a school and they just transform it, even down to soap in the bathrooms. And I was telling one of the young men outside, I said, I love the details that y'all did here because, there's never any good soap in a school bathroom. And so they really made it nice. So we were headed out. We are actually headed to Greenville, I think still in South Carolina, to a big used bookstore called Mr. K's. Now there's at least 3 locations for Mr. K's. One's in Asheville and one's in Johnson City, and I've been to the one in Johnson City. I think I may have done some footage there. I know I bought a lot of books there on a trip maybe 2 years ago. And so I didn't get to go to the other locations. So we're going to try to maybe make it to both of the other locations today. If we don't make it all the way to Asheville before they close at 6, that's okay. We'll get there one of these days. But we pulled in at a Goodwill because we were coming down the street ready to get on the interstate from church, and I saw a Goodwill and someone was going in, and I thought, oh, that Goodwill is open. I'll see if they have any books, because the Goodwills around us are phasing out a lot of their books. I think it's because there are some Goodwill bookstores that are in the kind of Tampa Bay area, and so I think they funnel most of the good books to those stores. Anyway, I picked up 3 books. I thought they were $1 each, but one of them had a blue sticker, which was 50% off today. And that one was a cozy mystery. It's called Murder in the Reading Room by Ellery Adams. It's one of the book retreat mysteries. I've only read the first one of these, and I probably need to reread it, but I enjoyed it a lot. And my sister has read some of these and enjoyed them. So Charlotte, if you're watching this, if you have not read this one, then I'm more than happy to share with you. Then this is one of those books where I see it and it looks interesting, and I think I really don't need another book to just sit on my shelves and wait for me to read it. But I keep thinking, what if it's the next greatest book, the next best book that I absolutely love, and I've never heard of it before. It just looks really good. So it's called At Home on Ladybug Farm by Donna Ball. I suspect it may be a sequel because it says Donna Ball is the author of A Year on Ladybug Farm. But Ladybug Farm, oh, that just sounds so cute. And there are grapes on the cover, and I don't know anything about this author, but it was $1, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna grab it. And then the other one I got to actually add to a lot in my eBay store. This is a Fortunes of Texas reunion series by Peggy Moreland. I have just a small lot of these Fortunes of Texas reunion, and it could use another one. I think there's only like 2 in my listing, and a third one I think would just round it out nicely. And I did double check the ones I have listed to make sure I'm not bringing home the same title, and I'm not. So for $1, I could probably raise the price of that listing by at least $1.50 or $2. And there is a bee in my car now. I have the door open. I have the windows open. Can you see it? I'm gonna open the door and let it out. Oh, it likes the book. Okay, it's on my book. There we go. Now I let it out. I think the best thing in those situations is stay calm. Anyway, I'm going to add this to my eBay store, and I think the $1 will be a good investment because that's not a large lot, and it will help it. Usually, if I'm buying to resell, I would buy at a lot cheaper than this, but this is in great condition, and it'll go a long way. So, now we are going to Mr. K's. I keep wanting to say McKay's. There's a McKay's in Knoxville. We're not going to probably go through there, but I went through there last year, and that store is amazing. But I'm going to skip that this year and go to a few places that I haven't been to before. So, eventually we need to end up in Sevierville. Even if we don't get there tonight, we need to get there for tomorrow, because because the marching band show is called Drums Over the Smokies, and that is where we need to be for tomorrow night. I know I did buy a bunch of books yesterday at 2nd and Charles. I have not filmed that haul yet, so I will include that in this video at some point. I will stop and film that and include that even if it's at the end of the video. But for now, that's all I've got, and I will talk to you later. Hello, I found a friend. Okay, so backstory. I got to Mr. K's in Greenville, South Carolina, and I realized I'd already been here, but of course I'm going to stop anyway. So I'm outside looking at the books, and I see this lady with the cool shirt. She says, it says, "I'm not for everyone." And I said to her, I like that shirt. I need that shirt. And then I looked at her face, and it's Kay the Reader. Hey, everybody. She is a former co-host of March Mystery Madness. We've never met in person. I think she lives somewhere in this area, not in this exact town, but somewhere close
about
enough
20
to
minutes
be here.
away.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that she will agree to be a March Mystery Madness host again in the future.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. She's had some other work stuff going on and all that, so she hadn't been as big of a presence on BookTube lately. But I think you're pretty active on Instagram, though, aren't you?
I am very active on Instagram.
So I'll put all of her links down below. And anything you want to say to anybody?
Keep reading, everybody, especially those mysteries.
Yes,
Our
that's
favorite.
right. Yes, absolutely. So we're going to chat for a little bit, and I got to go do some book shopping, so I'll talk to you later. Wasn't that awesome to get to see an old BookTube friend that I've never met in person, and just randomly, she did a little video on her Instagram stories, and she was talking about how, even though she went to the store and didn't find anything, she just felt compelled to go. And I love how God works things out like that, because traditionally I have met and planned to meet at least one other BookTube friend on each trip. And this year I had hoped to maybe see Mitzi again, but we've met in person before, and I didn't have a plan to meet up with any other booktubers that I've never met before. So God kept that tradition going for me, and I got to meet a fellow booktuber in person, even though it was completely unplanned. So that was awesome. Okay, now I like to keep things chronological and linear. It is right now a couple of days later, and we are leaving our motel in Sevierville. And I'm still going to attempt to keep this chronological, but I'm just inserting a little clip here to show you the books I got at Mr. K's. Now, my favorite find was this one. Now, you may not have heard of this. This is called Renovating the Richardsons by Virginia Smith. This is not a big series. I have the first one. It's got a super fun title, something like the something about Goose Creek Parade or something. I don't know. I'll put a picture of the actual first book here. I've only ever seen that book once, and I bought it, and I have looked for the rest of the series. I've looked it up on eBay. They are available. You can purchase them on eBay. You can order them, but I just kept holding out hope that I would eventually at some point find the rest of the series. I think there's maybe a prequel and maybe only 2 others. I could be wrong, but it's not a huge series. And I don't know where this one falls. I feel like this is maybe number 3, but I never see these out in the wild, and I keep it on my book shopping list so that I try to remember to look for it, and I found it. Oh my goodness. And then you want to know what's funny? So ironic, because I could have looked for this for years and years and maybe never have found it. But of course, in the same day, I left Mr. K's and went to 2nd and Charles, and they had a copy of it too. Now, it would have been fantastic if they had had a different book in the same series, but they didn't. That's just the way it goes sometimes. But I didn't pay a lot for it. I paid $3, which is totally fair. That's what we charge for paperbacks at the store where I work. So I'm good with that. I also found one of the Tales from Grace Chapel Inn that I did not have. I think I only needed like 3 more of these, and so now I just need 2. And I also paid $3 for this. It's a nice hardcover. It's a guidepost book. This is one of their older series, and I have not started reading this series yet, but I almost own all of them now. But this is Never Give Up by Pam Hansen and Barbara Andrews. This series has over 40 books, and it's a multi-author series, so a lot of different authors contributed to the series. And then I got 3 love-inspired suspense books, all from Canine Romance series. This is one of the older ones, and I think this is the only one I still needed from the Rookie Canine series. It's called Seek and Find by Dana Mentink, and I was super excited to find that. And then I hadn't decided if I was going to collect the Rocky Mountain Canine Unit books or not, because I've already listened to them on audio. But these were $1.50, and I thought I'll just go ahead and grab them. One of them is Undercover Assignment by Dana Mentink, and then Explosive Revenge by Maggie K. Black. So that is all I got at Mr. K's. But, of course, the best thing about Mr. K's was meeting my friend Kay the Reader. So be sure you go and check out her channel. I don't think she's done a lot of YouTube videos lately, but please do follow her on Instagram. And like I said, she was a March Mystery Madness co-host for a few years back in the earlier days. So be sure that you check out her channel. So that's all I need to show you. I'm going to go back now to previously filmed footage. I'll include a little bit of marching band footage and some other fun things from our motel and things like that. And then I'll be back to show you what we do once we get on the road. We are at Drums Across the Smokies in Savannah, Tennessee. Carolina Crown 2025. Okay, it's about 12:20 a.m. on Tuesday morning. The Crown buses are getting ready to head out to their next destination. They have 4 big buses that carry the band, and then other trucks and buses that carry all the other equipment and staff and everything. But they just participated in Drums Across the Smokies in Sevierville, Tennessee, and now they are going to be driving through the night to get to their next location. Got to visit with Katie for a little while. They gave them a couple hours after the show to kind of unwind and eat and finish loading up and all that. So anyway, we are getting ready to head back to our motel. We're going to leave Sevierville tomorrow at some point, but just thought you'd like to see what it looks like when they're all loaded up and ready to hit the road. Hello, so we are outside our back door of our motel room. Yeah, I didn't even know motel rooms had back doors. And we have a little buddy here. The only snacks we have left are some cheese puffs and Cheez-Its, so hopefully he likes cheese because we're going to give him a few. I'm thinking about the little raccoon on Over the Hedge and how much he likes to eat all kinds of stuff. So we're going to see if he will still be our buddy. He has obviously been fed by many motel guests because he's a sweet little guy. Oh, I don't even have anything in my hand. Okay, buddy. Yeah. What's your name? Do you have a name? You can take that one. Yeah, it is beautiful here. This is a Super 8 motel. Sevierville Riverside is this particular one, and we are right beside a river. Actually, this is a mama raccoon. I can see that maybe she has babies somewhere. I wish I had something better for her than cheese puffs, though. Something more nutritious. I'll have to ask them at the front if she has a name. You are so pretty. You want to tease it? Yes. I'm just getting down to crumbs. Emily is a sweet girl. I'm sorry. Emily dropped a Cheeto and I was like, don't pick it up off the floor. Just. You want to give her another one? All right. Give this one to the raccoon, okay? All right. Give that one to the raccoon. Emily had a little incident yesterday. I didn't do a very good job of wrapping her arm. The nurse wrapped it better. She burned her arm on the hot concrete. She had a seizure and fell on the concrete, and before we could get her up, she had an abrasion and a pretty bad burn. I'll show you a picture. Anyway, the Carolina Crown nurse wrapped her up and doctored it, and then I went to the pharmacy and got some more burn cream and some more gauze wraps, but I didn't do a very good job rewrapping it last night. This is a sweet girl. Yes, you are a sweet girl. Well, we're about to leave the motel, and of course, since this is Dolly Parton country, I had to get a selfie with Dolly. So there's these cardboard cutouts are everywhere, and they're pretty cool. Okay, I want to go ahead and show you now what I bought at both of the 2nd and Charles locations, because we are going to get on the road today, and I hope to stop at a few more book shopping places today and maybe tomorrow before we get home. So I want to kind of catch up and show you what I've already bought so far. That way I can try to just keep it current and show you the rest of what I get as I get them. So I don't remember exactly which 2nd and Charles I got these, and it doesn't really matter. But I have a few romances and a few mysteries. Most of these will be ones that I'm going to add to my eBay store. I got them off the clearance rack, and I think they will be good additions to lots that I already have. This first one, though, I thought I was going to keep and read, and I didn't even look it up because I was sure I did not have this one, and of course I have it already. This is Threat of Exposure by Lynette Eason. It's part of the Texas Ranger Justice series, but it was clearance for $1, and this is from a series, a multi-author series from 2011. So you don't see these very often, which is why I wanted to go ahead and grab it. There's a couple of different Texas Ranger series. One is by Margaret Daly, and then this one is a multi-author series, and I'm on the hunt for both of those. Then this is another one I got for myself to read. This is called Trained to Protect by Linda O. Johnston, and it is just a Harlequin. It doesn't say love inspired, so I'm not quite sure what to expect from this one, but it's a canine romance, so I'm excited about that. And then a few other romances that I'm probably just going to add to my eBay store. All of them were $1. I got this Harlequin heartwarming called The Christmas Agreement by Kathy McDavid. And then a couple of older ones, and this is in beautiful condition. This is Close Relations by Lindsay Stevens. This is Harlequin Presents number 113, and it is from 1997. So it's not super old, but you know, it's still fun to get them. This one is from June of 1990, Man of the House by Miriam McGregor, and it was $1. Hopefully these stickers will come off without damaging anything. And then these three are from the same series by Ann Purser. They are from the Lois Mead Mystery Series, and I have a few of these already listed in my eBay store, but I didn't have these, and I think I got 2 of these in Columbia and 1 of them at Greenville. But this will just kind of round out my series and make my lot more valuable. I don't plan to read them, although I'm willing to read them. Let me know if you have read any books from this series. Let me know if you think it's something that I would enjoy. So all of these have the days of the week in the title. We have Sorrow on Sunday, and then we have Weeping on Wednesday, and Secrets on Saturday. And these are all in excellent condition, much better condition than the ones that I already have. So these will make a nice value to the lot that I already have started. Okay, these next 3 are for the church library. I used to own some of these, and I ended up giving them away when I was trying to declutter and unload some of my books, and that was before we started the church library. In hindsight, I would have kept them for the library, but I did give them to a little girl who I thought would appreciate them, and so hopefully she did. But anyway, these are from the Faith Girls series by Nancy Rue. And first at Columbia, I picked up book 5, Sophie's First Dance. Oh, with a question mark. Sophie's First Dance? And then I found 1 and 2 at the Greenville store. Number 1 is Sophie's World. And number 2 is Sophie's Secret. So I will put these in the church library. I also got a couple of books to either give as gifts or for giveaways. So I'm not going to show you those right now. But I did get 2 other kids' books for myself. I found book 12 in the Road to Avonlea chapter books. This one is called Sarah's Homecoming. I used to have a bunch of these a long time ago, and again, I got rid of them. I gave them away, and I'm kicking myself because I would have liked to have these in my collection. But I was trying not to be a hoarder, and now I'm like, I'm okay with hoarding books. And speaking of hoarding books, I've been hoarding Star Wars books of late, and I found this one, a Han and Chewie adventure. It says it's a Choose Your Destiny book. It is published by Disney, written by Cavan Scott. It looks interesting. It's got some pictures, and it just looks like a fun book. So I don't know when I'll ever get to it, but I'm pretty sure I don't have anything from this series, at least not this one. So that's it for what I bought at the 2 Second and Charles that I've been to so far. I may hit another Second and Charles at some point on this trip, but we need to get on the road, and there is a used bookstore that's in the Gatlinburg area that was closed yesterday. So I think we'll try to go and see it if it's, remotely on our route headed towards home, and we'll go from there. So I'll talk to you later. We are still in the Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Sevierville area, and I passed by this thrift store a few times. I'm not sure what it stands for. I think it's maybe a church-sponsored thrift store, and I think probably the last M probably stands for ministry, but I forgot to ask. Anyway, we've already been in, and I'll show you what I bought. Okay, let me show you what I got. The paperback books were $1.50. So these were 3 paperbacks, $4.50 plus tax. So it was like $5.09 because I also used a debit card. I need to go try to get some more cash today. Anyway, I did not look up any of these, and I have 2 from this series, and I hope I don't already have this one. This is an old Harlequin series called Cooper's Corner. This is called His Brother's Bride by Tara Taylor Quinn. And then I have some of these Lynn Hinton books. I don't think I have this one. This is Wedding Cake. I have not read any of those. And then this can go in the church library if I already have it. I've been collecting all of these Diary of a Teenage Girl books by Melody Carlson. And I know for the longest time I didn't have any of the Maya books. This is Maya number 2. It's called It's a Green Thing. If I have it, it's okay. But I'm thinking maybe this might be one that I don't have because I think I still was missing one of the Maya books. So I haven't looked up anything, and I'm not going to look it up right now. I think we have decided that while we're still in this area, I want to do at least one fun thing for Emily other than just watch marching band. So we are going to go to the Great Smoky Mountains Alpine Coaster. We have ridden it before back in 2020. In the summer of 2020, we came here with our church group. It was, as COVID was kind of settling down, calming down a little bit, and we were able to make a trip here. Emily had never gotten to come on a youth church trip, and she had just finished high school. So we rode that, and we really enjoyed it. It's just our speed. So the tickets are like $18 a piece, and I think we are going to go and do that while we are here, and then we'll try to hit a couple of bookstores. So Emily and I just rode the the Smoky Mountain Alpine Coaster. We had ridden it for the first time back in 2020, and it was a little faster than I remembered it, but it was a lot of fun. We did enjoy it. I mean, it's not a super fast roller coaster, although the second half of it, the first half is just a pleasant ride through, the mountainside, and the second half is the roller coaster part. And I'm not a huge roller coaster rider, but it was fun, and Emily enjoyed it. I said, give me a high five if you enjoyed it, and she did. So I'll show you just a bit of it. This is kind of the last stretch as it comes to the end, but you can kind of see the sleds as they come through. Well, I take that back. The lower section is the first part, and then the higher section is near the end. And it was a lot of fun. I'm glad that we did it. I'm glad that I could do something fun for Emily other than, fun for me, which is book shopping. And the marching band shows are not all that fun for her, so this was a lot of fun. Okay, so we're still in Pigeon Forge. I have been to this store before, but it's been quite a few years. I'm not even sure how long. And I had forgotten that it was the original book warehouse. I remembered that they had books. It's called Moon Pie General Store. And here's the actual store, so we're going to go in and take a look. So it's kind of a general store with lots of different things, including books. So let's go find the books. But they have a very large book section, so let's see what they have. So the books run pretty much the depth of the store. Lots of different sections. And then there's more on the back. There's a kids section here. So I want to take a look. Okay, this is exciting. It says shop our basement for books and gifts. That means there's even more books. Emily, you want to go down here and see what they have in the basement? Maybe this is where the deals are. Let's go check it out. I didn't remember that they had a basement. Wow. There's like the same size store down here. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm excited. Wow. There is a lot of stuff in here. A lot more books than I even anticipated. Sadly for me, though, they're, I think, mostly new books, and I'm not always in the market for new books unless it's, a new release that I just must have. But still, it's exciting. I want y'all to see this. This is the mother lode of Guideposts books. There are so many. I guess they get the Guideposts overstock, and they have a huge amount. And there's more over here. Hey there! Slight change of plans. So I just showed you a clip from Moon Pie's General Store. We went in there, walked around, looked around. It was amazingly large. I did not know that they had a basement that was full of books as well, but I didn't end up buying anything in there because I'm really not a new book buyer for the most part. I just prefer to buy used. I mean, I do want to support authors and stuff, but really the books that I would buy new are so specific that I'm probably not going to find them in there. Although I kind of wish I had looked at the Guidepost books a little more closely, because there are 3 or 4 that I'm still looking for. But they were, I think, $7.99, which is not bad in the big scheme of things. But I can generally find them randomly for less. So I'm going to just hold off, because after spending, $55 on 2 Gladys Tabor books, I'm kind of feeling like I need to rein it in a little bit. But anyway, the change of plans is that I was headed to Gatlinburg to a bookstore that came up in my search, but I was talking to a girl who was working here, and I was asking her about that store, and she said that it is also only new books. She said it's a nice, little store, small business. She knows the owners, but it's a new bookstore. So I think that since now I checked my maps and it's just as quick to go back the way I came as opposed to going through Atlanta, that I will just go back to Asheville and go to Mr. K's. And I thought maybe it closed at 6, but it closes at 7. And it is 3:21 now, and it says that it's 2 hours from here. So, yay. I'm going to just go straight from here to Asheville and get to Mr. K's and still have plenty of time to shop. So, I'm excited about that. So, I couldn't resist pulling off the road at this lookout place. We are on the Foothills Parkway in Great Smoky Mountain National Park, and it's just gorgeous here. This is a beautiful place where you can just pull over and see the mountains. What's even more stunning is if you can come here in the fall, because when the leaves have changed, oh my goodness, it's just breathtaking. Okay, we made it to Asheville. Took me a little longer than Google said it would. It usually does. But we made it to Asheville to Mr. K's, and it is just about exactly an hour before they close. So that should be enough time to see if there's anything here that I want to purchase. Okay, here we are. Hello. So we went in Mr. K's. We had just an hour. It's never enough time. An hour is just not enough time in a new to you used bookstore where you don't know where anything is and there's so much to look at. But I did manage to get a few Star Wars kids books, and I got a romance book. The romance book I got is The Wedding Raffle by Geraldine Dawson. Geraldine Dawson is Emily March, and I have been collecting her books. I started reading her earlier Geraldine Dawson books quite some time ago. It's been a while since I have read anything by her, but I don't think I have this one. I may have read this one, but I don't own it. I'm pretty sure. So this is an older edition. They had a newer one that was similar, but it was just new, and I thought, I'm pretty sure the ones I have are older, so I'll just get an older one that matches it. The older ones are cooler anyway. And then I got 4 Star Wars kids books. Thankfully, I have a pretty good list in my phone of the Star Wars books that I own, although I don't think it's completely updated, because I was looking at the novelizations and I didn't have on the list that I had Attack of the Clones or Phantom Menace. And so I had them in my hand, but then I went back and found a photograph that showed them on my shelves. So I put those back. But I didn't have the junior novelization of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And then this one I don't think I have, but I might have some from this series if it's a part of a series. I feel like I recognize these authors. Anyway, this one is called Mission from Mount Yoda, and it may not be part of a sub-series of Star Wars. I'm not sure. It just looked interesting. And then I do have most of the Jedi Apprentice books, but I did not have number 7, The Captive Temple, and number 15, The Death of Hope. I think I'm only missing a couple of these now. I don't have 14. I don't know if there's anything after 15. I'm not sure how long the series is. And I think I'm missing book 5 somewhere in there. Anyway, I was excited to find these. These were $3 and $2.50 each. This Yoda book was $2.50, and the Revenge of the Sith was $3.50. And then my romance book was $2.50. So altogether, I spent $14.98. And thankfully, I had a $20 bill in my pocket because I had forgotten to take my wallet in, and they were trying to close while when I was checking out. And then Emily had a seizure right as I was checking out, so I couldn't leave. Thankfully, she was sitting down, and it was not a super strong one, and usually she snaps out of those pretty quickly, but this time it seemed like she was having a hard time snapping out of it. So finally, I was able to get her up into the car, and she's here now, and she's probably going to take a nap. I think that one really drained her. She had a pretty bad one yesterday and fell. I think I may have mentioned this in an earlier clip. She fell on the hot concrete, and, you know, when a person is in the middle of a seizure, you have to just let the seizure pass before you can help them up. And she was on the hot concrete for, 30, 45 seconds, and it just burned some ridges into her arm and left a pretty bad abrasion. If I didn't already mention it, I'll put a picture here of what it looked like. But then the nurse, the Carolina Crown nurse, was wonderful. She bandaged her all up, and I'm having a hard time keeping it bandaged now because I took that bandage off and a couple of times and put medicine on it again, and I'm no nurse. I'm not good at getting the bandage on right. Anyway, so that was Mr. K's of Asheville, and now I think that we will probably just kind of drive on through the night as much as we can, and then try to get to Jacksonville in the morning so that I can go to Chamblin's Book Mine. I also might go ahead and go back to the Friends of the Library in Jacksonville because I've been there before, and that was a fantastic Friends of the Library store. That library that it's attached to is in an old Kmart building, and the Friends part is in the automotive department, or what was the automotive department. So it's just, it's a unique space, and I might try to go there too. But I do need to make it on home tomorrow afternoon because I have at least one eBay order that needs to be shipped tomorrow, so I need to get home in time to do that. So, yeah, it's only maybe less than 8 hours from here. I actually haven't even checked to see how many hours from here, but it's probably only 2 or 3 hours to Jacksonville. So maybe we will just go and try to make it as far as the Florida Welcome Center tonight and just snooze there, and then be ready to hit Jacksonville bookstores early in the morning. Hello, it is about 9 a.m. on Wednesday morning, July 9th, I believe. Anyway, we are still 4 hours from Jacksonville, and I had big plans for today. I thought we would get through South Carolina and Georgia and get to the Florida Welcome Center, have a nice little nap, and then be ready to hit Jacksonville first thing this morning. And that didn't happen. We limped along to probably 3 different rest areas before I finally just gave up and just said, okay, I'm going to sleep. So we freshened up a little bit this morning and had our medicine, read our devotions, said our prayer, and we're about to head out on the road. I checked in with my family, and so it's still going to be a good day. One of the things I had hoped to do was get home in time. I've got one eBay package that is supposed to be shipped today, but I messaged that buyer. It's a repeat buyer, and I think they'll be okay with me not shipping their box today. So the plan is to just enjoy the day, do some book shopping in Jacksonville, and there's actually a really cute little bookstore in Savannah, and we haven't even gotten that far yet. So we might go ahead and stop in Savannah too if the store is reasonably on the route. I don't want to do anything to jeopardize us getting to Jacksonville today, but it's still going to be a great day, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope that we find some good books, and I'll take you along with me. Okay, we've reached the Savannah area. It's about noon, and this is the bookstore on the hill. It's in a strip mall, so it doesn't really look like much on the outside, but it is one of the coolest bookstores. It's got such a neat atmosphere inside. I vlogged some in here 2 years ago, so if I don't get a chance to film inside, I will put a description. I'll put a link and a timestamp to the video that I showed it in. There's like a doorway that goes through coats into Narnia. There's a Hobbit hole. There's a Harry Potter room. So it's just really cool. And I think I got here right at the end of the day last time. And so today it's noon, and we could stay longer if we want to. Although I do want to get to Jacksonville and still have time to shop at Chamblin's. So we'll try to keep it quick. But I remember that they had a lot of older romances here, some love-inspired suspense that I bought last time. So I'm hoping maybe I can fill in some of the gaps I need for some of the series that I'm collecting. Anyway, let's go inside. This first room is just standard bookshelves. There's Emily. We're both a little road weary. But here is the wardrobe with the coats that goes into Narnia. And I just think that is such a neat idea. So I'll give you a quick tour, and then I'll shop, and then show you what I got. This is kind of a neat use for book pages. I think this is the Harry Potter room in here. This is fun. I'm not sure. I think that's just the emergency exit, and it's decorated. Oh, here's the Hobbit door. It's in the kids' room. So cool. And then on the other side of it is also a room. Can you go through it? Y'all know? Can you go through it? You can go through it. Oh my goodness. It's so fun. Did y'all know that? You want to go through it? It's pretty cool. Let's see what this room is. This might be the teen room. So here's what it looks like on the other side. Or this is either, this is YA or middle grade, I think. Anyway, I'm going to turn this off so I can shop, and then I'll let you know what I got. Okay, we're back in the car from Bookstore on the Hill. That is such a fun store, and the staff there are very nice, very helpful. So if you ever find yourself in the Savannah area, then you should definitely go and check it out. So the only book I ended up buying was Lone Star Standoff by Margaret Daly. I believe the series this is in is called Lone Star Justice. It's not on the cover here, but there's a couple of Lone Star Texas Ranger type series that I'm trying to collect from Love Inspired Suspense, and I did check my list this time, and I did not have this one, so I paid $3 plus tax for it, and yeah, that's all I bought at Bookstore on the Hill. So now we're gonna head south and hope to get to the Florida Welcome Center before we make another rest stop, and then on to Jacksonville to visit Chamblin's Book Mine. I'm excited. Well, we have finally arrived at Chamblin's Book Mine, and we have a half an hour. Hopefully we'll be able to find something, and hopefully it'll be fun. Okay, so I got here to Chamblin's in time to do less than 30 minutes, really, because I didn't know where anything was. It's a gigantic store, and I'm frustrated because I wanted to have more time. And also, they just are like shutting out the lights and, you know, pushing you out the door. We don't do that at our store where I work. We close at 7, but we're scheduled to be there till 7:30, just, you know, restocking and all of that. And if there's a customer in the store and they are shopping and buying, we are not kicking them out. So, I mean, I know every place is different. It's a different situation, and they have a lot of staff in here, and they need to get their staff home. But, it's just aggravating. I'm more mad at myself than anything, but yet it would be nice if there was a little bit of grace, but everybody's walking out the door right now, all the staff and everything, and, they're shutting out the lights, and, they're giving you these, 10-minute, 5-minute warnings, and they do that at other bookstores too, and not to say that there's nothing wrong with that. They need to go home, and they need to not have to pay people overtime. I get that. I don't know. I'm frustrated. I'm venting. I'm frustrated because I really wanted to have more time here, and they were turning out the lights and rushing me out the door, and I ended up getting 2 books, but I didn't know where anything was, and I even asked the girl if there was, like a map or something, and she starts rattling off, she says, well, I can help you, what do you want to look for? And so I named a few things, and so she's like, okay, aisle 54, 55, and aisle 37, and all these numbers, and I'm like, I don't know where, and it's a maze, literally a maze. I did not film anything because I didn't have time. So this is the type of bookstore you need a literal day to come here to be able to find anything. So I've got to get my list completely updated, and I need to come here when I can have several hours. But finally I came back and I said, don't you have some kind of a map that just shows the layout? And she goes, oh, here. And so she hands me this brochure, and so here's the map, and I'm like, well, this is what I asked for in the first place. So anyway, here's what I bought. I did find one Star Wars book. I didn't find Dark Force Rising anywhere where I've been looking, but I did get this one, Tales from the New Republic. It's a Star Wars short stories. And then I got a cozy mystery called The More the Terrier by Linda O. Johnston. Sarah was talking about a Linda O. Johnston romance book the other day, and it made me think about her pet rescue mysteries, and I have a few of them, but this is number 2, so I don't believe I have this one. I think these were $4 each, so that's great. They had a lot of Star Wars books. I mean, the most Star Wars books I've ever seen in one place at the same time. So definitely need to come back sometime when I have lots of time. They also have a downtown location that I believe is a lot smaller, and then there's like a coffee shop there. I didn't have time, obviously, for both. I had to choose one, so I picked the bigger one, obviously. So, in hindsight, though, it might have been better to pick the smaller one, but it closed an hour earlier, so there's no way I could have. Anyway, that's it. That is what I bought. I don't know if I will cut this off here or if I will go home and do kind of a recap before I shut off this video. But it's been a fun trip, and we still have to get home. We're still about 3 hours from home. And I guess that's all for now. So hello again. It is 8 p.m. and we are still in Jacksonville because after I turned off the camera, I remembered, oh wait, there's a Second and Charles here. And I checked, and they closed at 8. Took me about 25 to 30 minutes to get across town to where it is, but it was fine because it's pretty close to the highway that we need to get on to go home. So we were kind of coming this way anyway. But I ended up, with over an hour to shop, so that was great. And I mainly got some kids' Star Wars books, some junior novels. I may actually have this, but I didn't have it on my list, but it's okay. This is one of the Jedi Apprentice novels, number 17. I don't think I have any numbers that high, but it kind of looks familiar now that I'm looking at it. It may be in that box that Sonia sent me, and I don't know if I have written those all down. So I may have bought a duplicate, but it's okay. Then this one looks fun, A Finn and Poe Adventure. This is one of those Choose Your Destiny books. And then a Forces of Destiny book. It says this is the Leia Chronicles, 3-in-1. I've got a couple of these Forces of Destiny books, and I'm pretty sure I don't have this one. 2 of these were $1.50, so that's not bad at all. I have paid more than that most of the time, $2 or more. And then this one was $1.75, so not bad. And then I had looked at their clearance first thing, and I thought the prices are not as good as compared to other secondhand Charles. And so I was just saying something to the girl when I was checking out, and she said, oh, well, we don't mark a clearance price. It's just half of whatever the regular price is. I was like, oh, okay, well, in that case, let me run back. So I had been looking at this medical romance because I have a few of these, and I kind of just want to fill out that lot and make that lot bigger for my eBay store. And so I paid $1 for this one, and it is a larger print medical romance, a Harlequin, called Playing the Playboy's Sweetheart by Carol Marinelli. I think I've also put together lots of just this author more than once that have sold. So, you know, if I decide not to put it with medical romance, I can always add it to a Carol Marinelli lot. Anyway, that is it. It is 8 p.m. It's about a 3-hour drive home, which means it's going to be late when we get home, and I'll probably have to stop and rest, and, you know, we'll have to stop and get coffee and whatnot, but we should make it home this evening, hopefully by midnight. And this has been a fun adventure. Thank you for coming along with me. We are very road weary at this point and ready to get home. Oh, before I get off of here, let me show you the most fun thing that Emily bought. She got this at a secondhand Charles, and this is so fun. This is a cactus pillow, and it's so squishy and sensory, and it was $24, but she bought it with her money, and it has been a great car pillow. So I think it was probably a pretty good investment. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming along with me on this fun adventure. And now I'm ready to get home, get back to my eBay store, get back to decluttering, get back to BookTube. I've got some fun things planned for my BookTube channel for this month because my 10-year BookTube anniversary is coming up very, very soon. So I want to do a few extra things this summer to celebrate that. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.